Chosen one, you are not reading this by accident. This moment has divine fingerprints all over it. June 25th, 2025 isn't just a date on the calendar. It is a spiritual checkpoint, a cosmic announcement, a holy confirmation. Your soulmate has made a decision, finally and fully. No more confusion, no more silence, no more hesitation. Heaven has confirmed that the shift has happened. Not someday, today. Not symbolically, supernaturally. And here's the mystery turned miracle. All the delays, all the heartbreaks, all the times you questioned why you felt so alone, they were marking time until this divine decision. You weren't waiting in vain. You were being aligned. You were being protected. You were being positioned for clarity over chaos. On June 25th, 2025, the alignment begins to materialize. The door that was once shut now swings wide open. This is not a drill. This is not motivational fluff. This is a divine transaction. Something sacred just shifted in your favor, and you'll feel it in your spirit before you see it with your eyes. Heaven has spoken. Your person is chosen. Now, you choose too. Now take a moment to really experience that. Breathe and realize that when something isn't a test, it's a sign that the genuine thing has come. There will be no more simulations. Rehearsals are over. No more sneak peeks. You, chosen one, are at the center of this show, not as a supporting actor, but as the main attraction, the driving force, the one who was destined for this. Something strong is being awakened in your spirit right now, so stay with me for the whole video. On the other side of this day, June 25th, there is a ripple effect that will change the next chapter of your life, and you have reached a spiritual checkpoint. Additionally, leave your best wishes and 707 in the comments section, not just for yourself, but also for the other chosen ones who are watching from across the globe. With unity and concentrated purpose, let's energize the cosmos. In this chapter, desires and reality clash. Let's get started, chosen one. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The equipped and the call. You're being asked to enter a really big space right now. Sometimes the seriousness of it might be scary, particularly if you've gone through a protracted period of ambiguity, delay, or even doubt. But pay close attention to this. God equips the called, not the equipped, and you have been summoned into something that can't wait any longer. Chosen one. The reason this particular day, June 25th, 2025, is notable in the invisible world is not because it is inscribed on any calendar in this world, but rather because it is marked in your destiny. It was written long before you knew about it. Your name appears on a heavenly message that is making the rounds in the spiritual world. The message reads, "Activation approved. Go now." You have been seen, tested, and watched, not as a kind of punishment, but as a preparation. And now the season of preparation is over. There's no drill here. You're not training anymore. Now, when you get there, the doors that seem to be locked are told to open. And I am aware that your rational thinking would doubt this. But what if I'm not ready? You may wonder. But let me tell you that preparedness is not perfection. Obedience is readiness. It's giving up. It's alignment. It's determining that what is ahead is more significant than what lies behind when you wake up on this particular day and look in the mirror. Not because you've always done everything perfectly, but rather because you've always gotten back up. You're being trusted with the next phase of your path. No matter how little it seemed on certain days, the fire never died out because you've kept it going. To share the love of the angels, write Amen and contribute up to $20 with a super thank you. From inquirer to respondent is validation of the sense of urgency you are experiencing at the moment. That stirring in your spirit. That startling realization that something significant is approaching. You're becoming more astute. Your spiritual ear is become more acute. And because you're no longer in training, You're seeing signs, patterns, and divine suggestions more than ever before. They need you, and this is the task. You see, chosen one, all of your hardships, hiding seasons, and instances of being ignored or misinterpreted were not in vain. You developed an unfake resilience as a result of that. People may feel something that it placed inside of you, even if they are unable to express it. And it is now being triggered for something far bigger on this exact day. June 25th, 2025 is a release date rather than a reset. Your energy will draw the next level of relationships, placement, and supply at this holy time. Instead of approaching this day as a seeker, you are now approaching it as the solution. The light inside of you now controls space, so you don't have to plead for rooms to open. Hustle could never open doors as your presence would. And this is spiritual identity, not arrogance. Now, it's critical that you change your internal position. No more petty thoughts. Don't shrink anymore. You can stop worrying about whether you're too much or not enough. The purpose of the exam was to see if you would continue after the audience became quiet. The purpose of the exam was to see if you would remain true to your calling in the face of illogical circumstances. The purpose of the test was to see if you would continue to preserve your light in the face of darkness. You made it through, and now over your life the heavenly proclamation is being made. This is not a test. Proceed, opening the divine flow. Pay attention to the nudges. The seemingly insurmountable opportunity, you own it. The link that returns out of nowhere, it's deliberate. The impulse to talk, to act, to move, do what you are told. You are currently receiving instructions in real time. With perfect timing, you've advanced to a degree of closeness where waiting may be fatal. This is the reason for the urgency of this message. There is no reason to distrust this season. Holding back now is not an option. Your name has been whispered into areas you were unaware of, and you are being trusted with choices that have legacy weight. Because your future is linked to what has been divinely reserved for you, not to what you have experienced. There are places available for you, talks waiting for your voice, contracts ready for your signature, and alignments larger than anything your past could have produced. This is evidence of it. Don't freak out when you sense the tempo quickening, the unexpected clarity, or that holy acceleration. You have prayed for it. Although it may seem unexpected, the timing is ideal. In reality, what seemed to be delayed was reserved. Redirecting to this precise moment seemed to be rejection. To share the love of the angels, write Amen, and contribute up to $20 with a super thank you. It's also important to remember that not everyone can accompany you during this time. And that's all right. The pressure to please everyone should not be placed on your task. It's not your job to explain yourself to those who can't see. You don't have to justify your transition to those who only know you in your previous incarnation. Keep in mind that misunderstandings often follow elevation. Don't be alarmed by it. You are being stimulated, not being haughty. You're going into an environment where favor is maintained rather than sporadic. Blessings overflow where they don't leak. However, faith is necessary for this new flow, the sort of trust that takes decisive action when instructions don't make complete sense, the kind of trust that affirms what your spirit says, even when your reasoning falters. Divine flow is now your new frequency. The turning point. There will be days that seem surreal, when things move more quickly than you anticipated, when people mention you in places you've never been in, and when doors open more easily than you ever expected. And this day, June 25th, 2025, will be remembered as the turning point. The time when the heavenly word that was spoken into your spirit was not only encouragement, but also guidance. It's not a test. Now is your moment. The signal has already been sent to Chosen One. Even before today came, you sensed a change in your spirit that you couldn't really define, a restlessness, a stirring. Something warned you against settling, being too at ease, or thinking that the stillness was the end. You now understand why, because today was always there for you. June 25th was not only a random day, it was specifically selected by God. This moment is not being thrust upon you without any preparation. Seasons that didn't make sense until now have molded, stretched, and polished you. The second thing you must realize is that the heavenly world is no longer delayed. You have been moved to the front of the queue and are no longer in the waiting area. In the spiritual world, your name is being given a quiet honor, even if the world hasn't seen it yet. There has been a ripple from your presence. It wasn't necessary for you to be the loudest. The audience didn't need to approve of your development. All you had to do was continue walking, and you did. The visible and unseen worlds are now lining up. Today is significant because it will reveal what has been going on behind the scenes. It is strategic, not symbolic. It is implementation, not only encouragement. Going beyond the test, instructions are on their way. Things that previously baffled you will now make sense to you. You'll have the conversations you've been waiting for. Frustrating delays will start to fall apart. The important thing is to answer as if you've already passed the barrier. You have to act, talk, and move like the version of yourself that understands that this is the real deal, not a practice run. When God says, "This is not a test," chosen one, He's also saying, "Els, stop questioning your authority. You are the sign. You no longer need 100 signs. The light you bring is causing the doors to open. The energy you've safeguarded is causing the chances to align. You didn't come here to doubt your value. It's time for the weight you bear to be fully acknowledged, since it is now sacred. But be mindful that exposure comes with height. In addition to showcasing your talents, this following level will reveal what isn't supposed to accompany you. When folks disappear, don't freak out. Don't lament fading relationships. They're positioning you, not abandoning you. Some folks were just supposed to accompany you on your training journey. It's all right that they weren't tasked with seeing your advancement. Release and get up. You are prepared for what this day requires of you. Your spiritual roots are deeper than you may think, even if you may not feel prepared in the natural world. You've mastered silent listening. You've mastered the art of trusting without confirmation. You've learned to have faith even in the absence of proof. Heaven reacts to the unusual form of faith that exists. Aligned reality. Since your test season is over, this is not a test. The test was the quiet. The test was the refusal. The exam was waiting, and each and every time you passed, you made the decision to be calm rather than petty, obedient rather than reactive, and loyal rather than resentful. Do you not see? Even if you believed you were standing still, you have been ascending the whole time. It's almost time for your inner and outside worlds to align. The alignment that only occurs seldom is this one. It's one of the few times when your innermost desires are so strong that they start drawing all of the heavenly assignments to you. You'll know it was design, but others will assume it was chance. This is confirmation, not a coincidence. Everything is coming back now, and it's coming back with interest. Every difficult moment, every tear shed in the dark, every prayer said with flimsy hope. Wherever you were wronged, you will see divine justice. Where there used to be turmoil, you will see tranquility, because your name has been transferred into a new frequency and the skies are supporting it. You will find favor in areas where you were before disregarded. To share the love of the angels, write Amen and contribute up to $20 with a super thank you. You must also understand, chosen one, that everything that comes with this change will not be given by God. Therefore, you will need to sharpen your judgment. Although they may seem to be benefits, some things are really diversions. You must remain sufficiently still to distinguish the difference. Offers will come along that will boost your self-esteem, yet jeopardize your tranquility. Some invites may seem to be shortcuts, but they will really go to nothing. Too much has changed for you to expend energy on things that don't align with your purpose. Your no is sacred today, and your yes is strong. The importance of this moment cannot be compromised. Therefore, utilize both wisely. This is about what is ordained, not merely about what is good. This is about what is intended, not what is popular. You're entering a generational impact rather than creating a short-term success. It had to happen at the correct moment, not just when you wanted it to, since what begins today will have an impact that lasts for a very long time. Your movement and mantle. On June 25th, 2025, things won't change all at once. It has to do with flipping the switch. You can't act as if you can't see after the light is on. You cannot go back to the version of yourself that lived in hesitation after you have been ignited. You are no longer that person. Your gait has changed. Your perspective has changed. Now that you know this is genuine, you are making a new decision. It's not a test. Your voice is more important from now on. Atmospheres change with your presence. Because of who you've become rather than who you know, your name opens doors. Everything in your life is beginning to show that you are living proof of divine harmony. Confirmation after confirmation will start to come your way. You'll know it's the outcome of moving when you were directed to move, even if it didn't make sense, even if the timing will seem too good to explain. Obedience like that is invaluable, and it's now being rewarded. This is your mantle, not just your moment. Even you will be surprised by the authority you're entering. Even if you didn't want to say it, it will be just what someone needed to hear. Even if the steps you take may seem frightening, they will lead you to the ideal location. Not because God suddenly began speaking, but because you finally began to believe that it was really for you. You will be able to hear the heavenly whispers more clearly than before. And everything starts to proliferate there, chosen one. You didn't go this far only to stop now. Beneath your feet, chosen one, there is a heavenly stream that no longer needs permission to flow. You are being carried by it. You're being led by it. You are being propelled into spaces and discoveries that you would not have been able to access naturally. You are being guided by a favor that was gained with humility rather than hustling. The spotlight is coming to you because you prepared in the background rather than fighting for it. Breaking cycles. You have to realize that you can't squander a time like this. Now is not the time to be cautious. This is not the time for timid gestures or little prayers. It's okay for you to take off. The heavenly order has been made public. You are now stepping into the now instead of waiting for someday. Heaven's plan is already underway. This is about walking, not pondering in the present. You'll also notice that your dread starts to lessen as you continue to walk. Not because fear completely vanishes, but rather because your faith is no longer subdued by it. Everything will attempt to bring back the old you, the cautious, doubtful, over-analyzing version. But it won't stay. Your past anxieties are no longer relevant. They're not compatible. At this level, they have no voice. Now that you know that you are not lost, you will respond to fear with the truth. You're not in the rear. We don't forget you. You're in agreement. You have been appointed. You have been selected. And it makes all the difference. It will need courage, but not force to enter what you are entering. You are the key. Thus, you don't need to force doors open right now. People will start to sense your authority before you ever say a word. It's placement, not pride. Now you are in place. Heaven's frequency is on your name. Certain settings are no longer acceptable to your energy, since your frequency has outgrown them. In the days ahead, you will experience tension. Not because anything is amiss, but because something is growing. Don't take the stretch incorrectly. The stretch is evidence that you're stepping into new roles, responsibilities, rewards, and degrees of discernment. Do not shrink even if it may seem unpleasant at times. You were not made to be little. For mediocrity, you weren't designed. You weren't supposed to fit in. You were made to defy convention. You are a cycle breaker, chosen one. Because the period for cycles is over, this is not a test. Others were unable to break generational cycles, but you did. Normalized patterns have been rejected by you. Your decision to choose heavenly routes over simple ones has set off a series of events in the spirit. Those who choose alignment above comfort will get a response from heaven. You and those close to you will both benefit from what starts today. Your obedience will have an impact on people you've never met. Not only will doors open for you, but someone has to see you pass through them first. You are turning into the proof that it is feasible, the indication that obedience is fruitful, and the proof that divine timing is genuine.